This is Charles Kao with Travel Mall TV at the World Travel and Tourism Council Summit in Tokyo with John Slosar, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Cathay Pacific. Pleasure meeting you, sir.
Good morning, Charles.
I've been in the travel industry for several decades, and Cathay Pacific is #1 by choice of consumers for, I think, for several decades now, recent decades. How do you keep that up?
Well, thank you very much. First, we appreciate the accolades, and we understand absolutely. You have to work very hard every day to keep the service and to keep the product at the levels that people are used to seeing from Cathay Pacific. What does it come down to? I think it comes really down to hard work. It comes down to hard work and knowing your customers. We spend a lot of time on making sure we're giving our customers what they want. We spend a lot of time on making sure the product is good. We spend a very long time making sure that the Cathay team understands the kind of service that customers want, because ultimately all of our customers tell us it's the service that keeps bringing them back to Cathay Pacific. And as the Chief Executive, my biggest role, honestly, is to make sure that I am always giving my customers irresistible reasons to keep coming back to Cathay Pacific.
And how much of this is a culture behind Cathay?
Well, it's interesting you should raise that. I mean, the culture is very important in Cathay. We've been going for 60+ years. I think we have a very teamwork-orientated culture. We focus on getting the right things done. We try to eliminate bureaucracy. We try to make sure everybody on the Cathay team feels like part of the team, so that they are personally invested in doing the right things to make the airline successful.
And in terms of growth, how much growing did Cathay Pacific do this past decade, and will plan its foresee to be growing in the next decade? I mean, of course, China is more people have more money all the time.
Correct. Yeah. China's a huge growth opportunity. Going forward, that's the biggest growth opportunity, not just for Cathay, but honestly, I think almost for the world of aviation, because the Chinese travel market outbound is going to be such a large and important market. I'm on record as saying, and I'm still sticking with it, that at the end of this decade, in the year 2020, the biggest travel story of the decade will have been the emergence of China as an outbound travel market. So I think there's a lot there, and everybody's going to see a lot of benefit out of that. Cathay over the last decade has pretty much doubled in size, so we've been pretty fast growing. The growth has been balanced in the sense that we continue to expand our regional networks. We continue to expand our presence in China, so that's close to Hong Kong. At the same time, we've developed a very large worldwide network. We have a lot of flights into North America now. I think we're up to 13 or 14 flights a day. We have a lot of flights into Europe.
Wow.
We have 11, 12 flights a day to Australia. So, what we are really about is making Cathay an irresistible airline to travel on, and Hong Kong an irresistible transit point for entry into Asia, especially China. And sort of building our network around the fantastic airport we got in Hong Kong has been a great positive.
I have to say, I still miss the old one.
Well, it was always interesting flying into
Yes,
Cathay.
it sure was.
And everybody who's been around for a while still misses the big right bank getting into the runway. But you know what? We're delighted we've got the new facilities we do. The airport now is fabulous.
It's convenient.
It's one of the best. It's always rated one of the best in the world. It's very user friendly, very quick to get through, and it's really helped us to build our business out of Hong Kong.
Equipment-wise, aircraft, to what degree do you keep them new and make sure that you have the best equipment for your customers? I presume that's part of the...
Of course it is. And these days, with fuel being where it is, new airplanes matters a lot, because the difference between a new airplane and an old airplane is not 2%, it's more like 22% in terms of fuel. So, we have I think we are the world's largest operators of the A330-300, the Airbus. And we use that for everything from 1-hour flights around the region to 9-hour flights down to Australia and India and the Middle East, and it's extremely efficient on those sorts of routes. For our longer haul routings, we're slowly replacing our 747s with 777-300ERs, which again are about the most efficient aircraft in the world, I think, at those kind of stage lengths. So they allow us to fly Hong Kong to New York and back 4 times a day, and these types of really long routes, Hong Kong, Los Angeles and back 3 times a day. So that's fantastic. Going forward, We will have a fleet of 38 A350-900s, which is the Airbus composite airplane, like the Dreamliner, which should enter service sometime around 2016, I think. Well, it'll enter service hopefully in 2014. We'll get ours in 2016 as Cathay Pacific, and they will make our long-haul fleet even more efficient. So having efficient airplanes, if you're into the long-haul business, is really important.
John Slosar, CEO basically of Cathay Pacific, thank you so much, and I'm sure that the luck of Cathay and the hard work will continue in coming decades.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Enjoy the show.
Thank you.